Hi, I'm Rachel from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and today I'm going to show you everything you need to know for block 16, the final block of the Cascade Yarns Knitterati Gradient Lapghan. So block 16 has some really great texture stitches that are mostly constructed using knits and purls. This whole section in the middle here is all seed stitch, which is nice and relaxing and easy, and then you've got some other stitches that are made just by using knits and purls on the edges, and it creates this really neat looking linear patterning. But then to give it a little bit of interest, you know, you've got a couple spots here that are little pops of bobbles, and I'm going to show you how to do that bobble here in just a second. But other than knowing your basic knits and purls, there's really not too much more that you need to know for this block except a yarn over and knit two together and then the bobble. So let me get this guy out of the way and we can get started with those stitches. So at this point, I'm sure you're very familiar with knit two together and yarn over, but I'm going to show them to you again just in case. Okay, so here's knit two together. You're going to take your right needle, insert it into the next two stitches on the left needle, wrap your yarn around as if to knit, and knit those two stitches together. Easy peasy. And then of course a yarn over is take your working yarn, bring it from the back to the front, and then over the top of your right needle, and then you're in place to knit the next stitch. And that makes your little yarn over hole in your work. Okay, so then the only different stitch that you need to maybe do a little practice on here is the MB5, which means make bobble with 5 loops. And this is kind of an interesting bobble. I'm not sure I've seen it before, but the way it's constructed is you are doing knit into the front and back into the same stitch 5 times. And let me go ahead and get that started here. So knit one, leave that that stitch on the left needle, and knit into the front, and then you knit into the back. So that's 2 right there. Knit into the front, that's 3. Knit into the back, that's 4. And then knit into the front one more time. And what you've done is you have created 5 loops. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your right hand needle. And then once you have those 5 loops on your needle like that, the next step is to pull those 4 stitches over the top of the first one, basically casting them off if you kind of want to think of it like that. Now, if you've done your knit into the front and backs loose enough, you can probably get your left needle into all 4 of those loops. Oops, oh, of course I just dropped one off of mine. And pull them over the top of your needle. And I find, I tried it both ways, doing them individually and also doing them all 4 at the same time. And I personally like the look of the bobble a little bit better. It looks a little bit neater when you pull all 4 of them over at the same time. So I recommend doing it that way. But if you're a really tight knitter, or if you're having trouble getting those knit fronts and backs to do it in a way that's easy for you to do it, you can pull them over one at a time as well, and that's fine. Let me show you how that would work real quick as well. So we're gonna go knit one into the front, into the back, into the front, into the back again, and then into the front one more time. Created 5 loops out of 1 stitch, and then you're just going to snag 1 loop at a time and start pulling them over. So the instructions are not specific, so I imagine you can just do it either way you want. And that probably, like if you're really tight with your stitches, then I would recommend doing it the first way if you're or the second way. But if you're a looser knitter, you can probably get your needle in there and do all 4 of them at the same time. You can see they look almost exactly the same. Here, I'll see if I can kind of get it to focus for you. They look almost exactly the same, but I personally like the look of this one a little bit better, but then that one looks nice too, so it's really personal preference. Okay, so that is the MB5, the Make 5 bobble, and that is the only special stitch that you need to know for this block. Other than that, it's gonna be just knits and purls. Thanks so much for knitting along with me this year. I hope you really enjoyed your Cascade Yarns Knitterati Gradient Lapghan. If you liked the video, be sure and give it a thumbs up below. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more product reviews and tutorials.